Good morning, afternoon, evening, gamers. So for the last few weeks, I've been playing some Conan Exiles modded. Just to put that out there. Apparently, if you don't mention these things, some people get upset. Surprise, surprise, Pikachu face. Um, so yeah, I've been playing quite a bit now. Uh, I've been playing as an elf, as we'll see in a minute, because one of the mods has like the ears, and has some pretty cool like elven style outfits as well. So yeah, I like elves, so I thought I'd play as an elf. Now I was looking around online for an elven style base, and if we have a look on here, where did everything go? So first of all, Eradication had a video. There aren't that many elven builds actually, although I saw one down here which I did not see before in the listing. YouTube, being what YouTube is, decides what it wants to show you, when it wants to show you, if it wants to show you. Um, but come on. So there's an elven one there. It looks like I've read it. I've watched that video, so I don't remember it, but okay. Oh, I think it was a huge base. And the problem with huge bases is that the bigger your base gets and the more things you add to it, the more lag that you get. Even on a server, I've hosted a G Portal server, which is having its own problems with mods, but we'll get into that in a minute. Um, there's one here as well, High Elf Palace. I've not read that before, so I might want to have a look at that. That's by Papa in-game builder, so they're an actual builder. So I'm sure it's going to be challenging. I enjoy building, but I'm not the most technically skilled, as we will see, and as we have seen with other with other like structures that I've built, mostly castles. So yes, so so I built this one, and then I kind of built on top of it. I don't want to show too much of Eradication's video because it's his video, and it's probably monetized as well. So I would like him to get the money. But I'll just show you kind of. Oh dear! Come on, game. It was quite challenging to follow along with. The pattern was really quite odd, and I had to pause and re-pause the video quite a lot of times. I had to restart this base part. And this base part went into the designs for the next mod that I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm getting there. Don't worry. I'm just trying to explain some thinking and what I've been doing and why I've been doing it. Because when you see the Rivendell project, you'll be like, huh, why? Maybe this will explain it. Maybe it won't. But but we can but try. So I don't remember him doing all of that. Oh yeah, there's some of the mods. So he was saying that there was a mod, like an Elven style mod collection, and I tried looking for it, and I couldn't find it. However, I do have these statues, so I wonder if the mod was merged into some of the mod that I already own. That's a VPN thing. VPN in this day and age. quite important, really, guys. Um, I, uh, I'm just trying to get a good picture of it. But YouTube can be difficult that way. So there we go. So that's kind of eradication style. I keep thinking I'm getting his name wrong. Eradication's style. And I kind of took this idea and sort of built on it. Unfortunately, I can't show you that build because that's the one on G Portal, and G Portal and Steam are having some sort of problem with the mods. Honestly, the mods and G Portal and Steam have been such a problem. Like getting it to run has been pretty difficult. I'm thinking I'm probably going to just drop G Portal because my FPS wasn't even any better, really. So I don't feel like it's been worth it. The only good thing was that I could have Isle of Siptah and I could have the Exiled Lands together. Unfortunately, the Isle of Siptah seems to just be completely ignored by Fungon. Um, why, I'm not entirely sure. Apparently, nobody plays it. That's probably because you can't just go from the Exiled Lands into Siptah and back and forth. No, they decided to make it like almost two different games, which just doesn't make any sense. Apparently, there used to be like a transfer thing, so you could go into Siptah and get like all the good stuff, and then you could transfer into Conan with everything that you had on you. Then apparently Fungon decided, no, no, you're having way too much enjoyment there. We're not doing that anymore, and they got rid of it. So I'm guessing at some point then maybe Siptah just died. So I don't know. But anyway, so that was Eradication's build, which I built upon. When I get the server running, if I get it running, I'll show you. But as I'm playing in Elf, I decided, I wonder if there's any Lord of the Rings mods builds in Conan Exiles, and there was one, Rivendell, which famous in Lord of the Rings by. Now I don't know how to say that name. I don't know that I want to say that name because I'll probably get it wrong. And some people are quite sensitive about their names, which that's fine. I didn't give it a like either, so I do need to give it. It was 3 years ago. But apart from this, and I mean, I just found the other one, so I mean that's something. So this was his version of Rivendell, very very similar to mine. So I couldn't actually remember what Rivendell kind of looked like. It's been a while since I watched the films. So so I decided to pull up a picture. This is the picture this was the first picture I came across. So this is what I tried to recreate. Now, I'm not the best builder. I don't have some of the technical know-how. Some of these things here, like these little bits, which I actually think are built into the roof structure. I didn't know how to do those. I did my best, as we will see, uh, but it didn't really go well, to be fair. But I tried I kind of tried my best. Also, I think this is actually rounded. It's not a straight line. Again, I wasn't sure how I would do that. So, so I just so I mean I don't. It looks like it's rounded, but then yeah, I'm not sure. So yeah, so this is a picture I went off of. And the thing is, in the so in the first video, in this one, eradication was kind of using, well, he's put these like spiky things on the outside so it looks more like rock, but he was using a kind of marble, sort of white greyish sort of stone, and then building on top of that. So I had that idea in my mind. I also play quite a bit of Elder Scrolls Online, and I was thinking about like the white gold tower, and also I was thinking about the Elven cities, and they're all sort of like gleaming white. You know, particularly the High Elves in Somerset Isles. So I was thinking about that. But then I also kind of liked this build set, which I think is the Nemedian. I'm not sure how to say it. Nemedian or Nemedian? The Nemedian, New Median. I'm just making it worse. Style. But then, so I was kind of looking at that, and that kind of looks more like the picture. This looks more like sort of that sort of stone. So I was like, okay. So I had two different ideas in my head. So I thought, okay, I'll try blending them. I'm not convinced that it works. Pardon, but I'm not convinced that it doesn't work. So with that all out of the way, let's just pop on in, shall we? So we're on the Isle of Siptah because he built his Rivendell on the Isle of Siptah. I had a look around the exiled lands, and there just aren't that many good waterfalls, really. So and he must have he probably came to the same conclusion, and so that's why he went to Siptah. But honestly, I've never played the Isle of Siptah, so getting to explore it, I'm not against that. Unfortunately, one of the mods that I installed, VAM, which is Odin's warriors, female warriors. None of that mod actually works on the Isle of Siptah. It really does just get overlooked by pretty much everybody, including developers. Oh, fatal error. Nice. Well, okay. Joy. So let's just go again, shall we? The problem is because some of the mods are no longer supported, but they're still very good mods. But Fungon keeps messing around with the game, and not generally in good ways. So it's turning into a bit of a mess. And I think that is some of the issues with the G Portal server as well. It's not a fun time with mods, but then it never is a fun time with mods. There always seems to be this battle between the developed game and the mods trying to inject new things. Oh, the opening video. I would try and like,
First,
come out of it.
they took your family and your riches.
But it won't work.
Then they took your health and your pride.
Pride. I feel my pride slipping away now.
Finally, they left you to die. What will you do, exile, when there is nothing left but to live or die?
Such a badass, Conan. Just punches it in the face. I've come across those things, and in the beginning, when I didn't really understand the game, I used to just die to them. I was terrified of them, actually. I didn't like them at all, especially the way they just like leap at you. And there would be like this little gateway thing, and there would be like there would be like one on either side, and they're just like, yeah. It wasn't a fun time. I'm also thinking what I might do is get rid of the G portal, and then just go online and see if I can find like a role play server maybe. That could be a lot more fun, and then I can have like the two experiences. There's not going to be any role play stuff on the Isle of Siptah, so it's gonna be Conan. It's gonna be the Exiled Lands online, and then I can have Siptah to run around by myself. So that could be an idea. I do enjoy the game though. It reminds me of Skyrim in many ways, and I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that in all the best ways. I really like Skyrim. But I know that there are different people that have different issues with it, and it's like, oh, you know, don't compare my game to that game. And it's like, well, I mean, okay, all I'm saying is some comparisons can be drawn, whilst they can still be their own thing. People are very much this or this. Ashes and dust, human. Ashes and dust. So, here we go. So here's our elves. So that's what we're playing as. Now this lady here, she, Alina the Fate Sister. So they're a mod. There's two of them, two sisters, but I thought that having both of them would be a bit overpowered, because they are quite powerful. Because she has divine presence, which gives you 50% chance to do crit damage, which is very, very powerful. So yeah, so this is kind of the, you know, the palace. But we'll come back here. We'll oh, I should probably go into yeah. Yes. So this is my version of Rivendell. As you can see, I tried to do my best, but you know, not mistakes, but a lack of technical skill was most definitely evident. So here we have, you know, we have the famous bridge, and with the help of mods, managed to make it a bit more elven-y. I don't think that's a word, but you know, a bit more Elven. Some of these you might recognise if you played World of Warcraft. There's a little bit of World of Warcraft in here, but because of the difference in styles, I tried to use the models sparingly. I also wonder where they managed to source some of that from. I hope it's legal. So here's the stairs. So here's where we make our way in, and we've got some nice statues. These statues remind me a lot of Gondor. Very much so, which is why I thought they would work. And we have the flag of Gondor, which I think is very Elven-esque. Can I shut the doors? And then one of the things you can do is these are wheels of pain, which just make so much more sense than the great big thing, which will literally bring your FPS to its knees. And we have a fountain for, obviously, filling up your water. And we'll go along here. We'll walk a bit. And some nice trees, because yeah, I feel like trees are a very Elven thing. And some baskets. A lot of really great mods for Conan. It's just sad, unfortunately, that where Funcom keep updating the game, which you would think normally is a good thing, but for modders, not really, because if they haven't got time to update their mod, then you don't get to play the mod, which is kind of a shame for you, the player, because you've downloaded it, you really like it, you've implemented it into your game. Now the developers decided, hey, we're going to add some stuff, or fix our game, and then the modders don't have the time to update the mod, or it takes some time to update the mod, and so then your game is kind of broken. And it's like, oh, okay, rip, which then causes all sorts of other problems. Here we've got a nice little pond. I thought it was supposed to be a fish pond. I think it said a fish pond. But I don't see any fish. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. Then we've got a few more World of Warcraft sort of Elven-y sort of mods, you know, just to and these nice baskets. We've got this thing up here as well, which just looks very, very cool at night. I feel like these work if you don't look at them like too closely. It's over there behind the trees is a prison. We don't talk about that. Things go on in there that YouTube wouldn't like. So we're and obviously I've taken some liberties with Rivendell to make it into more of a base suitable for Conan. So some of it, a lot of this isn't really canon. But yeah, some things go on up there that YouTube wouldn't like, because we're not allowed to be treated as adults. YouTube, Visa, MasterCard. We're just being sequestered, repressed by pretty much everybody, which I'm very much against. I've been very, very annoyed by the whole spectacle. It's like being treated like a child all over again. So these silkworm habitats, I'm not actually sure what I'm supposed to do with these. It's a mod, obviously. Items required. Grey flower lupine. Oh, there we go. If you just read it, it will tell you what you need to do. Yeah. Just read more, Sarah. Just read more. Yep. So that's our little honey farm. Here we've got some animals that I've been collecting. I've got a I've got a. It says it's an aardwolf, but that's clearly a hyena, and a bear, and a komodo, and a lynx cub that I managed to get before I murdered it. Sent its parents for a long nap. Long nap. And then here we have. I think this fits in really, really well, and it is. Why is it not? Is it because I'm... Yeah. So there's nothing in it because I haven't unlocked it. But it's... I think it gives you... what's in this one? I think it gives you the clothing style for Red Sonja. So you can run around looking like Red Sonja. And you just use these as cosmetic pieces, and then you just make your armor like actual armor. So this is the Elven armor, but as you can see underneath, it's actually it's transmogrified basically. Transmogrified. Have along here, and I've tried to put signs because although I built this place. I still find myself getting lost, which is hilarious considering I built it. Pet enclosure. The problem is, I build things, but I don't really think about what the spaces are going to be or should be. I didn't notice that grass being there before, but okay. And then we've got like a little garden here. There's a horticulturist bench, so this is another mod which just adds more gameplay and like gardening and things like that. So we've got all of this coming along. So bits of gardening to do. And then we come around here, come through here. There's a building in here. So this has some of the VAM collection in it. These are more the benches that you don't use that much, or as often as some of the other benches. Although the Tinker's bench probably use quite a bit. And this Elder Weaponsmith, from what I can tell of the game, it will take you a long time to get to this, like a really, really long time. VAM is quite grindy, and I'm not necessarily saying that's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying it is what it is. So yeah, fashionist thralls. I was going to open it and then remembered that I probably shouldn't, because I have full nudity on my game, because, again, I'm an adult. I wish there... I know I say it over and over, but I wish there was an adult area of YouTube. I mean, now that we have this ID verification, and you know who's who, maybe YouTube can do it. We can have an 18 area where we can all just be adults in an adult space and enjoy what we enjoy. But no, it wouldn't work like that, because people still want to tell you what you can and cannot enjoy because they don't enjoy it. I'm all for, if you don't like something, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. You shouldn't have to enjoy something that you don't. Nothing wrong with that. What is a problem is when you start then making that everybody else's problem. I very much believe in self-censorship. If you don't like something, walk away, turn off. That's how it used to be, but now we have all these people from other countries like Australia telling us what we can and can't enjoy. Meanwhile, ignoring completely the travesties going on in the real world. Pixels don't really hurt anybody. Real life threats to women and children. Yeah, now that's something I can get behind. People trafficking. it's still going on in 2025. But, yeah, let's not, let's not kid ourselves. The infamous island, where the files of who was there still hasn't been released, but we're talking about protecting children. Okay. Some, things don't add up. So anyway, that's a whole. I don't think it's even political. I think it's just. I don't think everything is political. I think it's just common sense. Let people decide what they want to do within reason. And actually go after things which are important, which are real life problems. But anyway, we'll get away from that because I could talk for hours about how much these things annoy me. So anyway, yeah, that's that place. So that's kind of benches that aren't used as much. And then this is the fishing area. I pretend in the lore I've got in my head going on, because I like to have like a little more story going on in my head featuring the girls. This one's I as Conan, obviously from the Eragon books, which I really enjoy. I can't find her like a leather kind of one-piece sort of catsuit type outfit, so she's wearing this elven armour at the moment. But I pretend that this rock here, which I think is another World of Warcraft mod, from the World of Warcraft mod. I don't know what it is, but I pretend that it puts like a bubble over Rivendell and protects Rivendell. It doesn't. And then here we have a nice little Shino's shrine. And that will give you like a kind of, not ninja, Shinboro. I'm saying that wrong. Sorry, Japan. But it gives you some cool outfits, which is also why I tend to play female, because there's just so much better armor than for guys. For guys, we don't really care. I've also noticed with the Isle of Siptah, getting resources seems just much easier. There's crystals here. There is there is this stuff here. You don't have to craft yourself a mask and poison yourself. It's brimstone. It's just brimstone right out in the open, which is nice. Depending on your thoughts on that, some people like things as hard as possible. Some people just maybe don't want to grind that hard or turn their video game into a second job. I'm more of that opinion, but I also understand that the people who want to challenge themselves. I think both things can be true and both things can exist. So here I have my shellfish traps. I haven't actually put anything, any bait in them. So the shellfish, and then I thought I put some bait in some of these. Did I not? Oh yeah, I've got some fish in there. Look. So yeah, that's sort of down here. And the thumbnail will be a picture of what this looks like at night. I'm honestly surprised that there aren't more Conan builds of Lord of the Rings. Having said that, I only looked up Elven, so maybe there's I do know there was a video of somebody attempting to build what's the big white round sort of castle and you have the bit at the top with the famous ending. You bow to no man. Minith Tirith, I think is how you say it. I know that there's a video of somebody attempting to build that, which is extremely ambitious. I didn't even want to build that in Minecraft, let alone Conan. So in here is kind of where we live. Toilet in there. I would show you how it works, but again, YouTube, so can't really. And then some World of Warcraft bookshelves, just because there aren't that many bookshelves in Conan. There's empty bookshelves, but there aren't bookshelves with books in them. Maybe I have to put them in by hand, but I mean that sounds like a lot of effort. One thing I will say, building. I'm fairly okay at building. I enjoy building. Decorating, at least in my head when I'm building, I can kind of see in my mind kind of what I want to build. With decorating, I don't see it in my head. So yeah, so apologies for the building, for the decorating. So there's a little kitchen here. I try to do my best. Got your presses and the thrall thing. So one great mod, if you want to try and lower your FPS, and because here, look, I'm getting 110 FPS. Now on the Exiled lands, on my other Elven build, the variation of Eradications build, my FPS just tanks. It's sort of in the 40s to 50s, which is still okay. It's manageable, but for some reason, Exiles Siptah, my FPS seems to be a lot better. But I have been using more of these little mods. So if we go into creative mode, just to show you where is that? Under crafting mods, you have the Beyond Stations mod, and it's just tiny, much smaller versions of the workstations. So like this one here, that's the artisan's table, and you just, you interact with it in exactly the same way. But it's a lot smaller, and I'm guessing it has a much better impact on your FPS. Because again, Funcom, they built this game, and they built all of these things that you can put into your world, but your game can't really support it, which isn't great. And then down here we've got Armourer's Bench, and the blacksmith station, all of the good stuff. Tannery station, and we have these delightful storage bins. These are just the miscellaneous ones, but you can get them to have like all very specific things. Like one can be for all of your bones, and one can be for all of your gems, and there's various ones. Also, somebody could tell me what the heck these things are for. I collect them, but I have no idea what they do. And here you see we have the Dyer's Bench, just a tiny little thing on the table. Here we have our Alchemist station. I can have two of them on the table. And also I have the grinder here as well, just to grind everything down. It's really nice. pop that in there for some potions later. I want the big boy ones, the pure aloe ones. Might as well have them crafting. The fluid presses here. Put some beans in and get underway. So yeah, so this is the sort of main crafting area, which is where I'm gonna do most of my crafting. More flowers, because I just feel like elves probably love flowers. I'm glad they're not a real race, and you know that they can't be leaving angry comments in the And in here, I built a little room for keeping potions, so I can make loads and then and then just stack them, pop them in here, have a place to store things. I need to make a million of these, well not a million, but like a load of them. And then I have to stand at the river and go through them and fill them with water, which is quite a tedious endeavour. And then I have them in here for potions. But yeah, so this is basically a place to keep the potions. Trying to put these on top of one another. Good grief, the game fought me at just every... It fought me at every turn. I do wonder at Funcom who decided that having building constraints in a video game, which is not supposed to really be based on real life. The reason why generally a lot of people play video games is to get away from real life. So why we're applying real life physics or logic to games, I don't know. Particularly ones that are annoying. But, I mean, hey, I'm not a developer, so what would I know? Then in here we have our brewing. Here we have a coin storage, for coins, I guess. I have a banker as well, though, so I don't know that I really need that, but I don't know. I was fiddling about. Here we have an elven bed. You can't actually lie on it, which is a shame, but it does look very impressive. So I wanted to have a few of them, and some more chests, because you can never go wrong with chests. I'm just gonna go into first person mode because look at that up there. For some reason, that is missing. There we go. So yeah, so this is basically the bit that I tend to live in, sort of play the game in here with its bathroom. So that's that bit. So then we go across the bridge. Doesn't feel too bad. I mean, here now we're on like 50 FPS. So yeah. I don't know that this actually works, but I don't know. I couldn't think of anywhere else to put it, so it just lives there. It has no back to it though, so I'm thinking really it's supposed to be against a wall. Yeah. Now, so here is the bathhouse. So you can come and have a bath. Yep. and you can wash yourself. It has animations, which is really nice. At first I didn't think it had any animations. The only bit is like how to get out. You have to kind of have a bit of a skip and a jump, but still pretty good. And through vanity tables, just they're actually not the right ones. Can have some beer. I could put a load of drinks in there, really. Just have a load of drunk elves running around. But yeah, I tried my best. It's not perfect, not by any means. I just don't have the technical know-how. I have been picking up tips and tricks from other modders like Eradication. This Eve I sort of picked up from I think this chap here, his name I'm not sure of. I think I picked that up from this video when I watched it, which it's a great video. Go along and see his build as well, and see which you prefer. It's not a competition. I think his build is extremely good, which is what made me want to have a go myself. And I think his arched buildings are just way better than what I tried. I should have implemented a bit more of this, because it looks really, really good. So yeah, go along and give his video a watch as well, and see what you like. Also, you got this second bridge here as well, which is very nice. I didn't really think of that. I think I got a little bit too focused on this picture, and I kind of forgot about some of the things in his video. But some of this stuff, some of this technical bits here, there's no way I would have been able to do that. I don't have the technical know-how. So yeah. So where were we? We were on the bridge, weren't we? Yeah, just run through here again. So yeah, we've got that weird water feature. And here we have the bank and merchants. So yeah, merchant's table, I don't really know how that works as yet. Dotted around as well, I have Shani's stuff, which is another mod, a collection of mods. There's nothing in it at the moment, but that's animal taming. So it just adds more things to do in the game. Here is the VAM shop. I don't really... So VAM isn't supported on Isle of Siptah, as I said. So how much of this is even doable or usable, I don't know. But it's nice. It's nice to have it here, for even if it just looks cosmetically good. And then we have all the... So these are the specific storages. So you've got one for alcohol, and gems, and arrows, bricks. So very, very specific ones. But I'm far too lazy for that. So I tend to just go for the miscellaneous ones. Here as well, I have a load of... So you open these up and they're like little quests. So it gives you little RPG type fetch quests, probably, to do if you run out of things to do. Yeah. So this one key storage. So you can pop all your keys, in here. But again, I just tend to go with the miscellaneous one. Up here, we've got another little kind of living area. I really, the decorating, somebody could do it so much better. I'm not. I can't picture it in my head. I kind of know how colours go together, kind of, but that's about it, really. You can sit here and have a little drink. I did my best. I tried to make it, obviously with the mods that add, you know, things that you can put like food on plates and things like that. A little bit of placement really helps me out a little bit. There's a bucket there with some water, fridges, preservation boxes. And then in here we have a bedroom, cupboards, and a bath, and a desk. I mean, you know, everything you need, really. I do love the Numidian roof style. I love it about as much, about the same as I love Stormglass. Stormglass, I think, is just, for Windows, is just one of the best things that they've ever added. I did this little archway thing just to try and make it, you know, make the decoration seem a bit better. But it's not amazing. I know. Also carpets as well. See, I need a better mod for just better carpeting. You tend to get these like little tiny rugs. Also, the wood doesn't match up everywhere. I just tend to get annoyed with it and I just slap it down. I know it annoys people, but it's like, you know, if I don't get my ideas down fast enough, I then start to forget what it is that I'm trying to achieve. So I don't want to be faffing about with wood and making sure that the direction matches. I mean, I do, but I also don't. Here's our banker. We don't really have a lot at the moment because I haven't done a lot of exploring of Siptah. I've basically...
Yes. The books are balanced, sums collected, everything adds up. Better check them again.
So basically, I've just explored the little island that I'm on, and this is the island that I'm on. If you want to recreate, this, so it's where are we? So N, I guess N12. Yeah.
Such a pretty sight. Tidy books and coffers gravid with glittering gold.
And yeah, N12. And also that this is a mod. The standard banker is a male. Nothing wrong with that. But this one just adds a female variant if you want. I can't put ears on her though, so yeah. And we have another bathroom here. It's sort of the doors are a bit, but you can sit on it and then. That would never not make me laugh. But then, after a while, the door will automatically close anyway. There you go. So it's, you know. Oh, I seem to have. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was possible. So yeah, it's not perfect, but and then you've got, you know, towels and you can wash up here. I don't know why these towels are a funny colour. I think you're supposed to dye them. Maybe I'll try that at some point. And then here's a lot of them. So a lot of these are basically is just very cool clothing. Grimm's Shrine, which is where you get just some of the, you know, pretty cool outfits. I think mine is from here. Is it this one? Maybe it's not this one. Maybe it's one of the other ones. I think there's even like a Wonder Woman outfit. And there's the Loom of Evil, whole load of like just cool like outfits, depending on your play style. The Crusaders Forge, Battle Nuns, you know, if you wanted to do that, just and then some more of the VAM stuff. I think this is the one that has my outfits. Witch outfits, yeah, like, yeah, Crusader Knights. Here's the elf ears, and you have the eyebrows from World of Warcraft as well. And here's my armor. It's called Elven Sword, Elven Sword Master, Elven Sword Master armor. And I think it looks pretty good. And before we have the people in the comments saying that wouldn't protect somebody, yeah, we know it's pixels. We're not sending real women out into the real world wearing that. At that point, I'm fully on board with you. It's like, yes, I get it. No, that's dumb. We're not sending women out in skimpy armor in the real world. It's a video game. It doesn't matter. It's fantasy. You know, we can have females in skimpy armor. We can have ripped men with no shirt on. Yeah, like, it's fine. It's a fantasy. That's kind of the point. Real life and fantasy it's not the same thing, and it shouldn't be the same thing. One is an escape from reality, because, you know, sometimes reality sucks. And for some people, their life is fantastic, and they don't understand why people want to escape this life. They think the real world is fantastic, and that's good. I'm happy for them. Not everybody is having that same experience, though, which is why they play video games, to get away from that aspect that they don't really fit in. So then we come in here, and we have to. I don't know why this would ever not be down. It should always be down, because you're either going up or you're coming down. And then, yeah, up here we have most of the VAM stuff. But again, how much of this is going to be usable, I don't actually know. I may have to just, like, magic in some stuff, which I don't have a problem with. I know some people do have a problem with that, and again, that's fine, but it's not your game, it's my game. In your game, you're free to do whatever you like. As you saw at the start, it's a single-player game. I could open it up to my friends if I wanted to, and I could just say, hey, guys, you know, what rules do we want, what rules do we want in place? And you can just do that between you. It's like, it's really not a big deal. It's not that deep. But in my own game, single player, I'm not hurting anybody. And if I want to console myself stuff in, I will do so. And if you don't like it, then in your game you shouldn't do it, and that's absolutely fine. Again, self-censor. Do what you do. Leave other people alone. So yeah, so that's you know, mostly just crafting. A lot of it is outfits for, you know, for females. There is some stuff for males. Not a whole lot, but there is some stuff. A lot of it is more for females because they just look better. To be fair, that's just how it is. Yep. So then we come out of here. This is the armory. So all the weapons. Obviously, I've been building this place mostly, so I haven't explored a lot of Siptah, as I said. Most of these bits are just as I was trying to look for the waterfall. Just found a few bits and pieces, but I don't really know anything about them. I saw some really cool shit though that I desperately want to explore at some point. I think this ruins of X something or other, that looked really, really interesting. There's this thing in the middle that scared the hell out of me. The first time it exploded, I jumped out my skin. Thankfully, I wasn't drinking coffee, otherwise I would have burnt myself. So yeah, there's not really a lot of weapons in here. I magic some in just to kind of like, stick them on the wall, just to have something to look at. Oh, this one here is the VAM weapon that they give you. It's completely useless and it's not really good for anything. It is runeable, but I don't actually know how to do the runing thing. So yeah. Oh, here we have. This is pretty cool. It's Sting. I thought that would look just really cool on the wall. Some of the trees are coming through the roof, but I don't think the elves would really care about that, so I'm not really worrying about it. Just a little walkway. And then here we have the van board, but again, I don't know. I could probably do some of this, but again, I don't know if rock noses, rhinos, and demonic spiders are even on Isle of Siptah. There's no companions for Isle of Siptah. Isle of Siptah didn't get any of that. The Age of Calamity, I tried that mod. I really couldn't get on with it. It was so disjointed, kind of much like Conan is, I guess. I couldn't really get on with that. And VAM, I'm sort of having a go at, but again, it's a bit all over the place. But yeah, I just thought I'd put it here. I think it looks good as an aesthetic, if nothing else. And then here we've just got a lovely tree, and you can just sit and... Oh. I guess the benches are around the wrong way then. Didn't really think of that. Okay, I'll... Did I get any of them right? No. No, I did not. Any of them? No? Well, actually, this one, I mean, you could just look out over there. I mean, that's kind of nice. But generally, no, I obviously didn't think of that, so they need to be turned round at some point. Down here, there's just like a little water thing. I don't know if this has any animations. I don't think so. No. Just a little thing. Here you've got another little, just sort of like little house thing. Maybe some of the thralls, when we get some, could live in here. Storage of things, some wood. As you can see, I tried to put in like a little bit of detail, but I'm not amazing at it. There's a little bit out here. Some more sort of like balcony things. I tried to make them look, try to make them look interesting. But again, some of the little like spires and that on top of the housing, I'm not sure how to do any of that. I think I will learn eventually. Having said that, I'm not. I don't know that I have. I don't know that I have any inclinations to be a professional builder. You know, I enjoy building, but I also want I want it as a base. I want it to facilitate the things I'm doing in the world. I mean, I've seen Barden make these tiny little houses, which are cool. Like, don't get me wrong. And with Beyond Stations, it would be possible to do, you know, to get everything you need within these small little builds that he does. And obviously on servers where you know, where you're limited to like 500 pieces, for instance. I was on a roleplay server, and that was literally, you're allowed 500 pieces to build your base. Beyond, you know, Beyond Stations was one of the required mods, which is how I came to learn about it, and realised that benches in the game really do impact the server. So there's some sort of more beds up here. So I figure like the thralls could probably just live here and just sleep up here. I think for all of the base game benches though, I think you need 18 thralls. I think that's if I remember correctly, which I may not. That's the. Oh, this is a sorcery place, and golems. So here's the golems. So the golem guy is here on the Isle of Siptah. That they brought him over. If you're thinking about playing the Isle of Siptah, because I think there's enough on it that looks interesting. If like me, you like exploring and stuff like that. I don't think it's any better or worse than the Exiled Lands. But if you do, he's over here, the Camp of the Castaways. It's kind of like this map's version of Sepamuri. So you can go there, and he's in there. So didn't get companions, but did get the golem guy. So I don't kind of know what they're thinking there. The thaumaturgy bench and sacrificial stone, the golem stuff, and miscellaneous storage. You know, because I'm lazy. And then we can go up here. Oh, where is the? There it is. Just wait for it to come down. I couldn't work out how to do curved stairs. Again, technical limitations. So I just built a lift. And then here we have the transport stone, which I've never actually worked out how to use, but I may have to use or learn to use, because apparently the Isle of Siptah doesn't have fast travel. But from what I've heard, a lot of people don't want it on the Isle of Siptah. Why, I'm not entirely sure. Although I did read that the Isle of Siptah is smaller than the Exiled Lands. Although to me it looks fairly expansive. But I mean, what do I know? So yeah. So come out of here. Yeah. You will see flashes of purple every now and again. I think it's something to do with mods. What or why, I'm not sure, because some of the I think some of the mods are built using older developer kits or older mod kits, so maybe that's why. Yep. So did I showed you the bathhouse, didn't I? And I showed you here the bank. The banker. Up here you've got a bit more storage. It's a little bit tight up here, but you can walk along that. It's not too bad. Looking in things isn't too bad. But trying to place these, that they look a bit wonky, and that's because they are. Trying to place them and trying to line them up with not much space was a little bit difficult. But to be honest, them being a bit skew-if, I think it adds a bit of character. I don't think it's that big of a deal. So yeah, this is all of that, and the indoor toilet. Got a table here for discussing banking matters, I guess. Yeah, so we've got all of that. And then we come up here to like a little sort of indoor garden bit. We've got the VAM thing here. And this lovely big tree. I think it's a World of Warcraft tree. And again, I think if you don't look at it, too closely, you're just like, oh, cool tree. Like, I think it works. I think it's pretty good. Now we go to the tavern. I built like a little bit of a decking here. And this is a pub with a band. Unfortunately, they only play one tune, and it gets a bit tiring after a while. There's rooms upstairs. This one needs towels. Yeah, so two of them have their own private bathroom. And then these two on either side are basically one is for the barkeep, which I haven't gotten and found yet. I'm hoping they're on Siptah. A bit more seating upstairs. Yeah, so one room is for the barkeep, and the other one is for the cook. With a thrall pot and another thrall pot. So they've got plenty of food to eat. And then these elves. This is another mod. I think it's kind of cool, but I would like more songs. This, after a while, whilst I was in here building, was starting to do my head in. Oh, also, go through here. The toilets. So, gents, toilet stalls, and wash basins. Plants. And then in here the ladies' one, so we've got some vanity things, some, ladies, and their stalls, and the wash basins. So I tried to give them some 20th century living. I feel like elves would be more advanced, and it's just a simple shack out back for putting all that beer that you're drinking somewhere. Oh, here's the vortex thing again. And this you can just sort of walk around it. I was having some problems with bears attacking, so I had to kind of build this thing round, and then I just sort of made it into like a little sort of garden thing. Here we have the Valkyrie shrine. Oh, this is the Sonya. This is the Sonya outfit, and a couple of Valkyrie helmets for some reason. So yeah. Getting very foggy. Apparently, the closer that you get to the center, where that big spire thing is, where all of that is happening, apparently it gets like the fog gets so that you can't really see where you're going, which is a cool idea. You just come round here, then you come through here, you come round here, then you come round here. And then you have the palace, which is where I think that's the back of the forge, and I tried to cover it up with some flowers, which doesn't really work, but it doesn't really matter. And then here you have the palace, where Alina is sitting. You've got a fireplace here, another fireplace. Little kitchen here for eating, and there's an outside dining area. I tried to be sparing with the torches as well, because I read that that one of the things that will kill your FPS. I mean, everything will start to impact on your FPS. But one of the things that will impact on your FPS is an overabundance of torches. So I've tried to be sparing, but it's not easy trying to light up the space. Oh, where is that supposed to be up there? I think so. Something that you will find sometimes that there are little bits and pieces sort of left over. And then we go up here. Then we've got the famous sword in the stone, just as like a little, little art exhibit. Got a little seating area. Got this lovely elf lady statue. I I think there's a it's a World of Warcraft one again, and some little benches so you can just sit here and contemplate your life choices. I think is quite nice. I think this one's too close to this. I always try to make sure that the benches are far enough away so that you have plenty of space to get up and sit down and move left and right. And especially in the tavern, I try to do that. I try to make sure that there's plenty of space around the tables for a NPC or a player to sit down, get up without clipping into the table, and be able to move left or right. And also, it should, in theory, stop the NPCs from getting stuck. But I've noticed whether it's a mod, I do wonder if my load, if my load order is not quite right. I went through all of the descriptions on all of the mods. I don't have that many mods. I have about 40 mods, which I know sounds like a lot, but then you get a game like Skyrim, and it's like, 1,000, 2,000 mods. So it's not really that many. But yeah, I went through them and read them, and the ones that said, this has to go before this, I did all of that. But some of the mods didn't have anything specific to load order. I found a post about general load order, so things that change aspects of the world, they should go first, and then things like clothing mods, things like that, are sort of safe to sort of go in the middle, and then sort of anything else sort of underneath that, I guess. But I don't know. I may not have got it right. Load order has always been one of those things I've never quite mastered. Another I thought there was a flame in his bowl. I thought, if there's a flame in his bowl, then why do I need the lanterns behind? But it's not. It's not at all. So yeah, this little bit. You just sit here and sort of do some reading, eat some flatbreads, do some contemplation. Not a lot down here. Grab a book and do a bit of reading, and then come up here. Little thing up here, and then in here is the bathroom. There's the commode to wash your hands. And then I decided on another elven bed, because it is a cool bed. It's a shame that you can't lie on it or interact with it better, but I mean, yeah, I'm guessing the modders can only do so much. And then we have this World of Warcraft looking sort of leaf mats thing, which, yeah, it's cool. Again, if you don't look at these things too closely, I think they're okay, but they just add a little bit of elfishness to the build. Hopefully, just help to maybe pull it together a little bit more. Pull it together sounds so professional. Pull it together. And the storm glass roof. I love this roof. I love these windows. I think they're the best windows in the game. To be honest, I really do. I think they're absolutely fantastic. When sort of early morning with the lighting system in this game and the lights coming through the windows, it really does look really good. And then through here, and then you've got the Queen's sort of dress-up area. There's makeup and mannequins, the bath and more mannequins to put her dresses on and stuff. So, all of that good stuff. I mean, the king can go in the bath as well, I suppose. I don't know that it's big enough to fit 2 people, but they can't have a bath together. Some stunning views there on the Isle of Siptah. I really do wonder what the issues are with the Isle of Siptah, because from what I've seen so far, skimming over the land, just looking for this area to build, it looked really interesting. It looks as interesting as Exile lands, and I've played quite a lot of the Exile lands, so I'm quite excited to see what there is to explore and what there is to find. It does make things difficult in knowing what benches to put down, because, like I said, the map room, you don't need the map room because there isn't any teleportation system, but you do have the sorcery system if I can stop being lazy and get around to learning how to use them. So yeah, so like some of the some benches you don't even need. There is also one. I often put it in my Exile Lands builds just because. I think it's crafting sections. Decorative. This thing here, the convergence trap. Now, I wonder if this is something to do with the Isle of Siptah. Now, obviously, I've never played this map, so I never knew anything about it. And I used to put it on my Exiles Land builds, but it never did anything. But I'm guessing it does something here, because I'm guessing it ties into, whatever that is going on over there. That craziness. Did I show you this time? I think. But yeah. So I think I've sort of showed you everything. I mean, this palace, I obviously, this was more just something I kind of wanted to build over the. Yeah, that really scared me the first time. It made me jump. Like I said, it was just I would have burnt myself probably. But yeah, I mean, if we have a look over here, can kind of see what I was trying to do. I was trying to do this bit here, but I didn't have some of the technical sort of know-how, these things. So instead of trying to build this, I just built towers, basically. I mean, I tried to do some detailing here. I think this bit here is actually more reminiscent of this gentleman's build, with this one here. Looks much more much more familiar. So I really think he nails it with that. It's much similar. I may I may attempt to do it and sort of build out this way a little bit more. Having said that, you know, FPS is starting to suffer a little bit, so I don't know if adding more buildings is a good idea. I think I'm just about getting away with what I've built. My, I don't know, 50 FPS. The thing is, it varies wildly. I'm flying as well, so that probably. See, now here, walking around, 70. Alright, 50. It's going to prove me wrong now. But, yeah. But also recording as well, so I'm guessing that makes a difference. So I showed you guys the armory. So, you know, let us know what you think and what you like and what you don't like. And, you know, try and make it constructive though, guys. Like, just, oh shit. Like, what do you want me to do with that? Like, it's not really helpful, useful. It's kind of stupid. This was just more for aesthetics, really. Just because I noticed in this picture that you had something kind of here, so I tried to mimic that. And again, I mean, you're never gonna get it exactly the same as the picture. And obviously, like I said as well, to some degree, you want it as a functional base. Like some of the walls that I had to build is to protect from animals that were in the area. The bears are particularly uncouth and aggressive. Just pop through here. I think there is one thing I forgot to show you, I think. That there's another tower, which again, need to reorganize that. Then getting around it is problematic. I won't show you the prison because, like I said, it's there's guillotines up there and things that will upset YouTube. So first of all, we'll have a look in here. There's a little tiny Decetto statue. That's the one I tend to go with, Decetto. Fertility goddess. Debauchery, orgies and death. Seems one of the most interesting ones. And to be honest, outside of PvP, I don't know that religion really plays that much of a part. So here's all my armor parts and where I can make my armor look how I want to. Hence this armor. Also, I'm probably going to have to find out where the Tome of Kurak is in the Isle of Siptah. I know where it is, obviously, in Exile lands, but I wonder where he is, or even if he's here. I would imagine he would be here because I don't know. That's another thing. See, I don't know what exists on Siptah and what doesn't. I mean, you can use this for cosmetic purposes without the book, but then without the book, you can't use the Age of Sorcery. Would they have missed out the whole Age of Sorcery's update to Isle of Siptah? I mean, they do tend to ignore it pretty hard, but I mean that seems a bit much. Blood rites, sacrificial blood, soul drain. Okay, that's all stuff I need to learn. I've never done magic. I've never really explored it. So yeah, the little Decetto statue. I built this here just because there were some rocks sticking through, so I was like, How do I make that look better? Okay, we'll make a little statue thing. I think maybe I should find like a bigger one, perhaps. It looks a bit pathetic on on top of this. And then we've got this here, sacrificial stone, the Nurgle thing. Why doesn't this? Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. So you can, you know, mess around with your looks a bit and put a hair up or something like that. And then here we have the. Again, I don't know why this wouldn't always be permanently here. Unless I flew out to do something else, perhaps. Go through here. And then it's just like a little walk around, really. You can just overlook the village, city, town, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's it really. I think that's everything apart from the prison, but we can't show the prison. No use antagonizing YouTube. I mean, I don't do this channel for money. I don't care about any of that. So it would be no loss to me to use the channel. It's basically just a place for me to share something I enjoy, gaming. Just share gaming with people, really. That's all I ever intended it to be. But yeah, so that's the build. I hope you like it. I hope it inspires people to build things, better things, much better things. Like I said, I'm not an amazing builder. I'm really not. I'm still learning. I'm picking up tricks. Like I noticed with Eradication, he likes using fence posts. No, fence. I think they're called. What are they called? I've never really used them. I never really understood what they were for. I thought there would be some here. Probably is on stable. Yeah, these things here. He loves these fence foundations. So you can just pop them in. You can just pop them in here. And the way he uses them is he pops them down to build kind of like a framework of where he wants to build. Then he puts in like little stilts in the ground. And then builds on top of that. So I found that he doesn't actually use a lot of, or tries to minimize the amount of these foundation blocks, these things that we're standing on, because these have a huge impact on your FPS. So the less of these you can use, from what I understand, if anybody wants to clarify that. I might be off on that, but as I understood it, these foundation blocks are really not good for your FPS, and wherever possible, you want to minimize. So I'm kind of learning little things there that Eradication and Barden do. So sort of like trying to pick up like little tips and tricks. The tree sticking out slightly there. Again, like little mistakes like that kind of bother me, but there's a point where you have to build something and there's a point where you have to stop building and start playing, because this is as I don't know whether Eradication and Barden just like build something, shoot a video, and then after that, you know, they just knock it down and then just go, or then just go over to another thing where, you know, where they're actually playing the game, or whether they play the game at all anymore. Like, I don't know. I think Eradication at this point played it for thousands of hours. So, you know, maybe that's just not a thing. Can I move this tree a little bit? Because it was bothering me a little bit. Is that better? It went a little bit funny. Okay, it's okay now. See, now it looks too far. Trying to place things just so as... Okay, wait for it to settle down. Okay, yeah, I think that's better. Little things like that tend to bother me. They probably wouldn't bother other people, but they bother me a little bit. Yeah, and then the entranceway. I built this just simply because otherwise there was really nothing stopping like, you know, animals, creatures, like an angry stag. Outside my front door there's always this angry stag. I'll show you. He's just a very angry stag. And I didn't sort of want him running up here, running across a bridge and just causing absolute chaos. Whether he can even get up the stairs, I don't actually know. Where is he? He's usually hiding in the trees somewhere. And he'll just be waiting to like jump out. Oh, there he is. Oh, it's because I'm... Here he comes. So let's see if he'll chase me. He's just a very angry young man. I mean, I antagonized him this time, but sometimes I do nothing to him. Are you coming? Are you gonna? Oh my! Oh wow! Yep, yeah. See, look. And this is what I didn't want to happen, for him to just be causing chaos up here. Ah, I think he resets. Did he? I think he reset. Okay, so maybe that wouldn't happen, but yeah. Some of them though, the reset before they go back is really long. Like I had a skeleton guy, and he was chasing me for a good long while. He was like a three skulls like boss, and he chased me for ages. Oh. I forgot I wasn't in creative. So yeah, so that's the build. And that's it, really. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it inspires you to build things. If it's your thing, I think building is great fun. Building functional bases and just trying to emulate ideas from, you know, your favourite movies, favourite stories, and the thing I like about Conan Exiles is there is this just huge versatility. I can play as elves, I can play as battle nuns. We have the Valkyrie mod, so on the Exiled lands there's these camps of very vicious Valkyries. I would like with the Valkyrie mod for there to be more story and for there to be more structure to it. So the Valkyries are Odin's personal battle maidens. and they go out onto the battlefield and they choose warriors that, you know, that died valiantly in death, doing heroic things, and they bring them to Valhalla for Odin's like private army for the day of reckoning. Armageddon? No, not Armageddon. There's a movie with Thor. But anyway. So yeah, I kind of would like the mod sort of, you know, fleshed out more, and for there to be like more story. Because the thing is, like, yes, I know that Conan started out as a survival game, and it has all of that in it as well. You can't take that away. The framework is there for the survival, but there's so much in the way of RPG mechanics and questing that, you know, that you can do. And there is some mods there. You saw the little boxes. You open them up. I'll quickly show you, just to give you an idea. But they are fairly simplistic in their nature, which, I mean, I'm not saying that's bad. But there's so much more that can be done. I think that's kind of what annoys me with Conan, is that it had, I don't know whether it still has, a great community of people that are passionate about it, role players and, you know, the hardcore players, you know, the PvPers and the PvEers, you know, everybody enjoying the game, and the framework is here for such a good game. Like, the framework is all there, but Funcom seem to just keep fumbling. And they seem to keep upsetting the community, which is such a shame, because the potential is huge. Like, rather than having a separate Isle of Siptah, which is, in my opinion, where I think they went wrong. I don't think people wanted that. People wanted, because currently, I've never escaped the Exiled Lands, because once you take the bracelet off, there's nothing. Now, there is a map mod called the Isles of Shem, I think it's called, and apparently I can play that once I take the bracelet off. That's another mod. I don't have it in the load order yet because I haven't escaped the Exiled Lands. But apparently, it kind of once you take the bracelet off and you have the opening thing, you can then go into this modded map. But that is what Funcom should have done in the beginning. Added on more areas for you to go into, more places to explore, more weapons, more, just more, and add in more lore, more quests, more. You know, I think people would enjoy that. But instead, yeah, they created Isle of Siptah, didn't really do anything with it. Just kind of stagnates. Nobody likes it. And the thing is, Funcom's kind of like, oh, we're not adding things to it because nobody likes it. Well, why don't people like it, Funcom? Have you asked yourself that? Why they don't like it? I mean, maybe reinstall the transfer thing, so that you can go to the Isle of Siptah. You know, you can run around here and loot all the good stuff, and then you can transfer over to the Exiled Lands and bring all that good loot with you. That would be something. You know, people might enjoy that a bit more. But where was it? What was I going to show you? Yeah, so these little boxes here. So quest. So this one here. So a insignificant maggot like yourself think you are worthy to become my servant. If so, then you best prove it before I will grant you my servant's seal. I don't know what that's for. You are to collect 100 grubs, so that I can have my spy put them in Theory's bed. I'm not sure I know who Theory is. I've heard the name though. Additionally, I shall require 5 orange serpent venom glands. So, I mean, they're basic fetch quests, but, you know, it's something. There's here... We've got unwanted visitors here. No, it doesn't seem to actually... Doesn't actually seem to give... Theory, restore the glory of Shabam. 20 fire orbs, 20 gas orbs, and no less than 3 explosive jars. Your resources will be used in the battle to retake Shabam. I don't know where Shabam is. You will be equipped with standard Theory soldier gear and gain privileges of a Theory soldier. So that could be something. So again, you know, it gives you things, you know, little quests to do. I mean, they're fetch quests, let's face it. But at least it's something. But I don't know. Also, for some reason, sometimes can't seem to. Like it's like there's a wall there. Really weird. So yeah, I don't know. I really like Conan. I just think it's stagnating a bit. There's so much potential here, but a bit like my hometown, it never seems to reach it really, which is a bit of a shame. So yeah, I hope you liked the video. Sorry I haven't posted in a while. I just haven't really felt like it. Don't know that there's been anything that I've really wanted to talk about, really. Sometimes I don't game for a while, and then other times I game avidly. It really just depends. I'm very much like that. So, oh, also as well, we have down here. It doesn't light up, which is a bit of a shame. I thought, like, when the moonlight came out, it would light up. Maybe that would have been cool. But Durin's door or wall or something. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I know in the movie when the moon comes out and it shines on the door, and it all kind of like lights up with like not hieroglyphics, but like Elvish or dwarven words. I'm guessing. Was it dwarven or was it Elven? I can't remember. But as far as I know, it doesn't light up, which is a shame. But again, modders can only do so much. There has to be limitations. But yeah, I hope you like this build. And until the next video, bye for now. Nope, that wasn't it.